Thank you very much. And I think Dr. Bajaj made my lead into exactly where you left off, actually. Let me try to figure this out. Okay. Yeah, and you know what he was saying is very much right. But I want to know how many of you think that the Hindu population is going to go down by 2050? I know that statistically he's saying that, but can we be positive and say no, we're not going to let that happen? How many of you want to do that? How many of you want to see the Hindu population go down? It doesn't look like you guys want to keep the Hindu. I want to see all the hands up there, right? Yeah. I'm an executive coach, and part of my job is to motivate people. So, but no, kidding aside, really, we can't let that happen. If we're going to let that happen, first of all, I don't believe, I know statistically, but I don't believe that that's going to happen because we are here and we're not going to let that happen, right? Yeah, we shouldn't let that happen. I mean, shame on us if we do that, for sure, right? So with that, and also, I think my presentation already started. One of the other questions I was going to ask you all is if you know what a chaplaincy is. But we heard that a little while ago. What is a chaplaincy? And I know it's a borrowed term, chaplaincy, but it is something that we need, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. So what is the challenges for facing Hindu communities? And I am from the U.S., so if this is talking about there, but it's not only the U.S. I really do believe that it's across the globe. But engaging younger generation, I think that is the key to they are our future. And if we engage them, then we're not going to let the statistic tell us what it's telling us about declining Hindu population. Providing support to the parental generation, we have to provide support because they are aging population, and my parents are there in North Carolina, so I'm very much involved and I know about that. I'm sorry, providing services to the elders, and then the parental generation is people like me or people who have children that are not getting the guidance, actually. So what are the challenges facing Hindu communities? We have mandir leadership, and it's the board of directors or the trustees. It's a challenging job, actually. Parents' dilemma, because fitting into the local community, UK or the US versus do I want to call my kids, or do they want to call themselves as American, or are they Hindu, or are they Indian? It's confusing, actually, for people that maybe, like Panditji was talking in Minnesota or North Carolina. Younger generation's confusion, and so that leads into the confusion for our younger generation. We need a paradigm shift. We need to change our thinking cap, like Dalai Lama was saying yesterday, that really we are the brain. And I think we need to start thinking about we are the brain, but the problem is we need to change our thinking. We are not what we were 30, 40, 50 years ago. We have to change. We have to accommodate the changes, with chaplaincy is one of the solutions. It's only one of the solutions to these changes. What does a Hindu chaplain do? A Hindu chaplain is actually a support with cultural, spiritual, and emotional growth. And it's not doing the Panditji's work with a lot of rituals, but we do have to know some rituals to be able to accommodate, to be able to help people understand what we're doing. Why are we doing the rituals that we're doing? Pastoral counseling. Counseling is a big part of being a chaplain, and it's just more of a spiritual counseling. Develop personal identity. So as a student, as a chaplain at Duke University, I have to help students develop their personal identity. What are they? Are they Hindu? Or are they Indians? And it's a major issue, actually. Public face for the Hindu. So my being there on a campus really helps, or in the community, helps people understand, okay, if they have any questions about Hinduism, they can come and talk to a person there. So that's very public face and advocacy. It becomes a key role for a chaplain. Hindu chaplaincy at the university, at the mandirs, Hindu mandirs, and at the hospital. These are the three areas. So Hindu chaplain at the university basically conduct meditation, which is what I do. So I've given you what I do. And it may change from university to university a little bit, but overall this is what we do. We lead discussion sessions, and we provide guidance, mentorship, and counseling. Again, we're the face for the other communities, and we conduct puja on various occasions. We celebrate religious, festivals and addressing social changes. Things. And I'm going a little faster because I have to keep track of the time. Mandir chaplains, counseling is a big part of it because I have done this on a personal. I'm also on a board of director of North Carolina, one of the board of directors of North Carolina. Hindu Society of North Carolina. So I understand the temples, how they are run, and what are the issues. And we do need some counseling. Our pundits are, with all due respect, my father is one of the pundits also, but they're not trained to be counselors, so they can't provide that for the younger generation. There is a generation gap, there is a culture gap for us, at least in the U.S. Community resource person with the interfaith services. I think one of my colleagues showed a wedding. I think you might have shown performing an interfaith wedding. Social services and community involvement at large. Hospital chaplain does spiritual counseling and basically providing guidance and support for the patients, families, and staff. And this is a key role, a critical role also. So what is the Hindu mandir's role? I know a lot of you are associated with the mandirs, and this is what I would like you to at least help and understand and somehow could participate in this, is increase chaplaincy in other educational institutions. You recruit and you train, we train them. So help us do that. Somehow collectively, we have to do that. Collectively effort from the Hindu community, temples, to fund and programming, lectures, all kinds of things. So this is where I want to take, I have 3 minutes and 50 seconds. I want to take in the conclusion part of vision. My vision, there are only a handful of Hindu chaplains in the US, by the way, only a handful of them. And so my vision, and this is my plea to you all, is I want to make sure that, or I want to work on towards getting about 100 Hindu chaplains in the US in 5 years. But I need all of your help because I can't do it. That's my recommendation. And I guess I shouldn't really say just the university. We're looking at other areas also. But if I'm talking about the university, because that... I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Yeah, we had, right. And implementations, and this is what I've started to do being in North Carolina. I actually have UNC, University of North Carolina, NC State, and other areas. We're starting to kind of get the ball rolling. The reason is that we have a gap. We have to energize our young people for sure, because I was just talking to one of the university professors here in India, and he was saying, I asked him, if your students have any issues, who do they go to? There's no place that they go to. But he said 95% of the students don't even want to go to anybody like a chaplain. They'll never do that. Even here, let's not call him chaplain, we can call Hindu advisor or whatever it is that we want to call that person. But they're saying 95% of the young people in India will not seek spiritual guidance. And it's the same thing in the US. So we're not talking about whether it's Bharatvarsh mein hai ya America mein hai. It's the same issue all over the world, I believe. So, but that gap, the younger generation's gone to social media. We've gone to their Twitters, their Facebook. They're doing all kinds of things. Why aren't we giving them something to look inside? Why aren't we telling them that it's about helping themselves? It's about going inside. It's about growing spiritually, understanding who they are and what they are. And we're losing that generation. We're losing that generation all over, you know. And actually, somebody told me at Duke University, one of the students from Bharatvarsh, as a graduate student there, and he said, you know, I don't believe on this spiritual or religious Hinduism. I don't believe in all this stuff. I think I'm an atheist. Very openly, clearly, no big deal, no problem. I mean, they're just like, it's not important. What do we do to engage these younger people, these younger generation? That is the challenge in front of us. And I want to leave that with you to somehow think about, let's bring our brain power from India and challenge the younger generation and engage them and make them aware. And finally, one day, they could be proud and stand and increase their self-esteem so they can stand out there and say, I'm a Hindu student, I'm a Hindu, I'm an Indian, my heritage is Indian, but I'm a Hindu. And they can be proud to call themselves a Hindu. Thank you very much.